Another vertical live stream, walking the animal. So, I'm a little bit on the late freight on this one, but I did get an opportunity, I think late yesterday, after we went on our walk yesterday, to see the JB Bickerstaff interview. Now, I think this is the first job he got interviewing as the head coach. Now, one of the things that was specified in this search was, I'm guessing he was leaving Cleveland and about to leave. Um, and what happened was the Pistons called him for an interview. He said, I'm about to leave in a couple of days. So therefore, he made the 3-4 hour drive up, and he was the first one to interview. Now we had other situation with James Borrego, which I didn't hear any of the press acts. Terry John, whatever, Langdon, y'all motherfuckers. Oh man, pronounce the name right. Eat a dick. Yeah, I said it. Eat a dick. This ain't ESPN. And if you ain't never donated, you really shouldn't be making no, especially if you ain't never thumbs up. No, fuck that. If you ain't never shared the video or donating, you really shouldn't be making a request. That's just my opinion. You should really just shut the fuck up and watch. And sorry I had to get belligerent, but sometimes that's the only way people understand, right? So I'm surprised nobody asked him about James Borrego. Now, for the most part, maybe they was told not to ask, because really a lot of these guys are employees of the Pistons, all right? So if you didn't know, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying this part about James Borrego, if you hang on. So James Borrego pulled out, right? And said he was no longer interested. Now we don't know why he pulled out and being a candidate, but I don't know. It could be money. Maybe for the most part, if he interviewed, which we guessing he interviewed, and I'm gonna guess it said it was the money, or maybe it was philosophical differences, which I really can't call that neither, to be honest, because they come from the same organization. So my guess is either him and Tom Gores didn't hit it off, or it was a financial issue. That's my best guess, right? So, but the thing about I brought that up was because JB Bickerstaff said that he never felt like in the process, I'm paraphrasing, that he was a second choice, or he was just a backup option, and I'm paraphrasing, for somebody better for the job. So to me, that maybe signaled kind of not to kind of low key answered. He'd be hard headed. That's kind of low key. Stop playing. Stop playing. You cruising for a bruising. That's probably signaled the questions that was probably told not to ask, or potentially was going to be asked about James Borrego and his him pulling out of consideration. Now, did he pull out of consideration from the fact that he didn't want to compete with JB Bickerstaff? Did he pull out of consideration because maybe him and Tom Gores didn't hit off money? But for JB Bickerstaff to address it and say, well, I never felt like I was an alternative option, or it was a better, I'm paraphrasing, it was another option that they wanted to go with over me. And maybe he just heard through the grapevine, because agents talk, that they really like JB Bickerstaff. So, JB saying that he never felt like he was just an option, for the job. I think that's important. And that kind of told us probably what happened with James Borrego. Maybe, they preferred JB Bickerstaff over Borrego. And, sometimes, even on YouTube, being first is important. But the thing about it is, being the right having the right information, or being the right person, I think is more important. You know what I'm saying? And that's my opinion on it. So, with hold on, as I do this, with JB, no, with JB, maybe that's the guy they preferred over Borrego. Maybe it was Borrego, but the money or philosophies didn't line up. And my guess is always come down to the money, right? This was a guy who had Borrego, who had the Charlotte Hornets on the right path. You know, he's the guy that had them on the right path for real, and they got rid of him. You know, and you never know what goes inside locker room walls, and that's kind of what I was kind of speaking on about DJ Shark. He seemed to be a great fit with Jared Goff and the Lions. Real quick to switch over there, which is gonna be a lot of Lions talk when we get to camp. So we gotta get this Pistons out of our system. Even though I'm optimistic about the Detroit Pistons, to be honest. You know, and I guess I'll speak on that towards the end if I remember. Um, but but they had great rapport. But sometimes maybe some things that go down in the locker room, it's like any other job. You can have a guy that's great at doing a job, but the chemistry might not be there. I'm telling you, that go a long way, man. For y'all young fellas that want to work in corporate America, let me tell you this. You know, and that could be working as a fry cook, that could be working as a manager, that could be working at Quicken Loans, that could be working in the tech area, that could be being a lawyer. This is one of the most important things, and sometimes it'll override doing your job the right way. But I would always say that you should always take pride in your job. If you're a landscaper, you fix bikes, whatever you do, right? You should always take pride in what you do. But one of the most important things in corporate America is going to determine your success is how much people like you. You know, how much people like you. And not respect you, but how much these people like you. That's going to go a long way. That's going to go a long way. How much these people like you. And you have to be likable. You can't have a shitty attitude. You know what I'm saying? You got to be likable. And maybe that's why Borrego got let go, because maybe he wasn't liked. But look here, for me personally, if I'm running a company and I get somebody that I may not necessarily like their demeanor or like them, but I can trust them and it's mutual respect, as long as he get the job done, I don't give a hell. I don't give two damns in the fuck. Loyalty, trust, transparency, and respect. If that's a two-way street between us, quite frankly, I really don't care about the rest of the shit. Being liked is overrated. I've had a bunch of managers and people I worked for who didn't know how to do the damn job. You heard me? Didn't know how to do the job, but they had high positions. So I was going to put that out there real quick. So, but in my humble opinion, I mean, I guess that was a shot at Borrego, at the Borrego comments, because he pulled out, you know. And I assume, like I said, he interviewed. I assume that. And I assumed that maybe him and Gores didn't see eye to eye, or maybe the philosophies didn't line up with the front office, or it was about money. That's my thing. Maybe he wanted more money and more security than they was willing to offer. So, but to be honest, I liked a lot what JB Bickerstaff said. One of the things that stood out to me was he didn't promise any wins or a turnaround, but he said about February or March that we should know, we should be able to identify what Piston basketball is with this regime. And I like that, because we don't know what Piston basketball is. I mean, I think it may be disrespectful to the word enigma to say it's an enigma. You know, because what's the brand? Is it defense? Is it tough? Is it scoring? It's just really, their calling card is the laughing stock of the NBA. With a great, fantastic fan base that continue to show up, you know, for one of the worst teams, the attendance is pretty much middle of the road. So imagine if they actually won. Do I think the intention for Tom Gores is there? The intention is to be good? Absolutely. But you got to know how to be good. Dan Snyder of the Redskins took over a legendary franchise, but he thought, just like the majority of his life, I could buy my wife, I can buy the car I want, I can buy the side bitch I want, I can buy this what I want. You can't buy everything. Like Kendrick says, a lot of goofies with a check. You can't buy respect. You can't buy championships. You know, unless you didn't have no cap space. But then it didn't guarantee George Steinbrenner or the Yankees a championship every year. The majority of the years, it did. But it still don't guarantee you a championship. So a lot of these wealthy dudes, they think they can just buy themselves out of everything. They buy their kids out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? They buy their spouses. They buy their families and all that. You can't buy respect, bro. You can't buy attractiveness. You can't buy loyalty. No matter how much you try, you can't buy it. So he think he gonna be able to just spin his way through the franchise and just buy his way to a championship, even without cap space. That's not necessary. With unlimited cap space like baseball or uncapped cap. That's not true. That's not true. And that's what one thing people who grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth, they think they can buy everything and everybody, and you can't. You can't. But one of the things I like that he said, like I was saying, one of the things that I heard that he said was talking about the identity of the brand of basketball that we'll be able to identify. Shout out to Tumba, that we'll be able to identify by February or March, that we may start seeing what type of basketball they playing. And he said it's gonna be unselfish brand of basketball. So I can respect that. And by unselfish, I'm hoping that don't mean the ball gonna stick in number two hands all day. That they gonna move the ball. They gonna play hard. I mean, with all them young legs on the court, Beasley, Harris, and even Tim Hardaway, they not too old. They should be running and gunning. And JB Bickerstaff is very well spoken for. He spoke very well. He asked his questions. Obviously, they had to put the battery in his back. Once you get somebody $220 something million, possibly 269 if you make an All NBA team next year. Of course, they really giving the keys to Cade Cunningham, which I disagree. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have the keys, but goddamn, make some of these dudes earn something. These dudes literally been handing everything their whole life. And I say this as a side note, that's why a lot of them struggle with women. They don't know the difference between earning it. They don't know the difference between it being genuine. AAU coaches, high school coaches been kissing their ass their whole life. And they get to the league and not a league kissing their ass. In college, freshmen didn't even used to play, let alone start. So that's something else to think about. And now they're giving the keys to these young guys, and they wonder why the brand of basketball sucks so bad, because they ain't have to never earn nothing. When you go to college, you learn how to play the militant style of basketball. That's where you learn how to actually play, defend, communicate, run plays because of the traditional zone. That's why once upon a time, they sent college basketball players to play international play, because the international rules were closer to the college rule, the three-point line, the zone, the shot clocks and stuff of that nature. That's why college kids got sent over to the Olympics, because that brand of basketball was closer to the world rules than the NBA rules were. So they just, like, the last 10 or 15 years, they just implemented a matchup zone in the NBA. So people tend to forget that matchup zone wasn't always a thing, which I think it shouldn't be, but it's part of basketball. But nonetheless, so yeah, he's talking about they're gonna forge an identity, and that's what they gotta do. What are you gonna be known for? Running and gunning, playing hard, being tough. Okay, we'll whoop your ass on the court and off the court. Like, what's the identity gonna be? Unselfish basketball is what I really like to hear. That's one thing I like that he said. One thing he guaranteed is gonna be an unselfish brand of basketball. Unselfish brand of basketball. They're gonna move the basketball. I'm pretty sure they're gonna play hard. A lot of these guys' heart in the right place. They don't know how to win. But one thing I would love to see, with all these young legs and these young brothers that can run, they should be running every time they get the ball. I say this, and I've been in the minority saying this. Mike D'Antonio would have been a great fucking coach. D'Antoni would have been a great coach for this team. Cade Cunningham would definitely make the All-NBA team under him. He would do wonders with this team, especially the shooting that they acquired. This team will win 40 games under D'Antoni. I'm not saying they will be successful in the long run or win a championship. He definitely can't take you there. But with the amount, even Charlotte Hornets, with Melo at the point and them young guys that they got, man, that dude offense would be genius today, bro. I think, in the right situation, he may win a championship today, basketball, because everybody is just running that isolation basketball anyway. But then Tony, as the Pistons of the Charlotte Hornets head coach, that's probably what they needed. It wouldn't last long. They'd get to the playoffs, possibly get to the conference finals. You know, possibly get to the conference finals. But Pistons need to be running. Pistons need to be the most high-paced basketball team. You know, last year they should have been. Think about it. You got Ron Hollis, Short Thompson, Jaden Ivey. Cade Cunningham ain't the fastest, but he young. You know, who else you got? Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. You know what I'm saying? So they got a lot of guys that's athletic, bro. They should be attacking, slashing, running. You know, they should be doing all of that. As I pick up dog shit. Stop. Stop. Thank you, sir. Yeah, they should be doing all that shit. They should have the highest pace. Excuse me. They should have the highest pace in the league. Them and the Charlotte Hornets. Them and the Charlotte Hornets. Bar none. But unselfish, I like to hear that. Um, you know, and he also talked about how they got a new athletic training staff and how they're gonna be a little bit more jubilee and a little bit more pick me up, and you know they're gonna be a little bit higher energy, and they want to make an environment where these guys love to come play. So they basically was trying to say that it was a little bit unbearable last year. Then when you lose, it is unbearable. Nobody wants to come into work and y'all not hitting y'all goals damn near every day for an entire year. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit y'all goal 14 days out of 82 times is wild. That percentage is not good. So winning cures that, you know, and that's the only thing that's gonna make it fun. But also, one monkey having the ball all the time, it ain't gonna work. Because, you know, everybody should have an opportunity to have the basketball. So I kind of honed in on some things that he said about them playing an unselfish brand of basketball. That kind of stuck out to me and forged an identity. Them two things, and how well spoken for that he was, and also that this is his first opportunity he been selected for, because I think in Cleveland he took over for John Beilein, because remember it was rumors that John Beilein said the N-word, and that's what really tore that locker room apart. You know, it was rumors that he said the N-word, and that he was falling asleep in meetings. He was just too old. We knew that. But you know what? Sometimes you got to take risk in life. That opportunity to coach the Cleveland Cavaliers and coaching the NBA was probably a dream of his. He took a risk. You know, probably could have won multiple national championships at Michigan. He took a risk and lost. So be it. And about Juwan Howard, it's hard to succeed somewhere when they never wanted your black ass there to begin with. That's why I say a lot of these black coaches get a raw deal because they not wanted. So when the energy is, we really don't want them, but we got to give these people opportunity. And you know, in a minute, and you can start off doing well, but the minute you not doing well, they gonna fire you because they wanted to fire you the whole time. They don't want to pay you what you worth. You know, they don't want to pay you what you worth. And you know how the shit go. You know how it go. So that's unfortunate, but at the same time, he went for it. So I'm guessing JB Bickerstaff was the guy that took over and did a great job. And a lot of people had questions on why the Mitchell thing didn't work. I don't know. What Mitchell had to get these dudes are crybabies and assholes. I told y'all that's why I brought that Cade thing up. Not him in particular, but hey, stop. That's why I brought that Cade thing up in particular, was that a lot of these players are babied. A lot of these players, they've been treated like superstars their whole life. So they get to the league, they roll out the red carpet for them regardless. So they roll it out regardless. So it ain't really, you know, so they gonna say, well, Donovan Mitchell, we gonna hand him 150. When we get rid of Bickerstaff, we eat his salary. He really wasn't supposed to be the head coach anyway. So he got some extra gas in the motivation tank because Cleveland fired him. We get to play them 4 times a year. Now, it's also a rumor, here you guys go right here, for you guys that really care, is that Evan Mobley is going to get the max from Cleveland. So they're going to max out Evan Mobley. That's even worse than Cade Cunningham. I'm not trying to say like the dude don't deserve the max. He don't deserve it. None of them guys, Scotty Barnes didn't really deserve it. I don't really think much of him. I don't really think much of him, but I mean, it is what it is. I understand it. Buddy Hield got the max at one point, so I get it. A lot of these guys getting overpaid, but I'm always happy to see brothers get money. But but yeah, these dudes are divas. They gonna fire the coach before they fire these players. And Victor Wembanyama was like, man, fuck Greg Popovich. Popovich black white ass to be gone. I said black ass, but Popovich white ass to be gone too. You know, and I told y'all like it has to be a balance. Like how the NFL is really an owners league, the NBA is really a players league. It got to be a type of balance. You know, you always want the balance. You always want the balance to favor the players, right? But even if you give it all to the players, this is the product you get in the NBA, and it's not a great product. And you know, but for those of us who grew up on the product, for those of us who grew up on the product, you know what I'm saying? And then DT literally gonna follow us over here. It's crazy. But we know what a great product look like. Now, he also spoke on Ivy and Cade. I know that's what y'all was waiting on to talk about. And talking about staggering their minutes and doing what they did with Mitchell and Garland. That's not how basketball is played. Scotty and Michael played together. Joe Dumars and Isaiah played transition together. I mean, look at how well Jason Kidd played with Kerry Kittles and Kenyon Martin and, you know, Richard Jefferson and Vince Carter and those guys. It's team basketball. Like it or not, Kobe and Shaq transitioned and played well together. I mean, who else? How many other guys we seen throughout basketball back in the day? David Wesley and Bobby Phillips played well together. You know, Allen Houston and brothers in the Knicks played well together. And Ewing and Starks and all of them played well together. Go. All of them played well together. So, but nonetheless, yeah, your turn, my turn. That Kyrie and Luka and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that's because a lot of these teams don't run no sets no more. They don't run any sets anymore. So we're going to stagger their minutes, and that's fine, but you got to find a way to get an offense in which you can utilize their strength. And one of the ways, that they can utilize their strengths. All right, you don't want to run around. Yo, funeral, bucko. One of the ways they can utilize their strengths is motion and allowing Ivy to control the point some, allowing Cade to control the point some, move without the basketball, cut, post up Cade Cunningham. I let Jaden Ivey isolate the floor and beat this guy one-on-one. Have him run the baseline, have him slash, have him come down off of pins and catch and shoot and catch and attack while he coming off, you know, a screen or, you know, he coming off some momentum off the slash. Too much of their offense is like Cade pounding the ball and everybody just spreading the floor out looking for a three-pointer. So if they get some motion going and they allow somebody else to control the point a little bit, I think Ivy and Cade could succeed together. But if that's gonna be the case, then they gonna let Cade control the ball. One, he not good enough to do what Luka doing, so they won't win. Two, then you just need to get guys like Klay Thompson, you know, guys like that, you know, who's just gonna stand there and shoot the ball and allow him to create for those guys. You know, but like I said before, Ivy and Cade can work. It's just that Cade gonna have to give up, even in general, if Ivy just get traded, Cade got to give up some ball handling responsibilities. He ain't that good a ball handler or that good of a point guard yet, where he like Chauncey and everything go through him, or he like Kid or Magic and everything go through him. He ain't that good yet. His ball handling need to be tightened up. So we can go on and on and on about this. But the thing is, Ivy should be controlling the point some. Sasser should be controlling the point some. And Cade, you know, should play off the ball a lot more. And I guarantee if you take Cade off the ball a lot more, he's going to be more successful. Not a whole fuck Biden banner hanging for somebody's balcony. That's wild. But but yeah, but I agree with the banner. It's crazy, but yeah. So I think that's how it's gonna work, man. Also, if that's gonna be the case, they're gonna play with the ball in Cade Cunningham hand. Well, they need to be fast breaking a lot more. And if they run a lot more, guess who that's gonna benefit? Jay Ivey and Jalen Durn. So if they fast break a lot more, that's who it's gonna favor. It's gonna favor those two guys. That's exactly who it's gonna favor. So they get a lot of easy buckets. Cade Cunningham will get to the free throw line. His assists, his efficiency will go up. They have some turnovers here and there, but with their young legs, they'll be running dudes about the building. They'll be running dudes about the building. So, yeah, that pace is gonna favor them a lot, especially Ivy and Durn, and that's what they should be doing. But they play slow, and I don't know if it's because of Cade Cunningham. I would say fuck him if I'm Ivy. I'm that nigga. When I heard him say, "Who's Cade Cunningham team?" No, 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 no. It ain't nobody team just yet. Ain't nobody took the bull by the horns. Let's keep it funky. Nobody took that bull by the horn. But I think that if they share the ball handler responsibilities, play with pace, you know, some more motion in the offense, I think one of them would be all-star next year, to be honest. One of them would. But if they're gonna play half-court basketball and K gonna go 1-on-5 and spread the shooters out, they gonna win. And they'd be lucky to win 20 games next year. That can't happen. He not Luka. I don't know why they keep wanting to make this motherfucker Luka, Magic, Penny. He ain't them. He's not them. I hate to break the news to you. It ain't them. If Ivy were on the point, they would be sprinting down the court. And that's a great point, young elder. That's a great point. You think like I think a little bit that K slowed him up. K slowed him up. You know, Ivy got to be better at protecting the ball for sure. That's what we all can agree on that. You know, and so could K. But that comes with high ball usage, and that comes with more experience protecting the ball. So I think K should kind of just a little bit more, should be more of a wing. Is that somebody dead dog up there? Oh, that's a cat. Come on, man. I ain't trying to fight 3 cats tonight, bro. You eat a dick on that. You gonna be fighting them niggas by yourself. I'm gonna leave you. That's a dead dog up there. I know I ain't. That's either a dead dog. Come on, man. God damn. Well, my dog, he be acting so stupid, bro, sometimes. And then he be out here walking and tired. Oh, that's a whole cat. That nigga like a dog. I ain't trying to fight 3 cats. I think you can win, but you're gonna be winning by yourself. I really don't like cats, but yeah, you're gonna be fighting by yourself. And then you kill one of them cats, they gonna throw you in the animal control thing. But he being an asshole. Come on. And now I gotta pick his ass up. He didn't think I'd be playing with him. I will pick you up. All right, then, stop playing with me. Come on. Yeah. I will pick your ass up. I think he don't be knowing how strong I am sometimes. I'm not the girls. Come on. He be forgetting who I am. But this breed, hard-headed. Hard-headed dog. But, yeah, I think the ball got to come out of his hands a little bit. I think K could be slowing him up. I believe so. You know. I told y'all he wasn't athletic. Just beat Taylor. You just like dunkers. But here this nigga going. Here he go. You can send this to his ass. Here he go talking about, oh man, we should draft Ron Hollins. I looked at him, I said, nigga he like a dunker to me. You're a dunker, but oh, the dunk hater like dunkers now. If Jalen Green wasn't humping on little boys, humping on his teammates, he would like Jalen Green too. But I'm glad we didn't draft him. We don't need none of that activity. He can't be humping on the Pistons, dog. He got to go. He got to go. Old buddy got to go. Can't be humping on the Pistons, man. They got rid of the dude he was humping on too. But yeah, but nonetheless. But yeah, I think Cade and Ivy can work. But I also think that, in my opinion, they can win. So a fitness center and a pet spa. So they put a fitness center here in the pet spa. That's interesting. But yeah, I think the Pistons get 30 wins next year, bro. I really do. But the question is, will they get to 30 wins? And the question also is, that's gonna have to come with unselfish basketball, and the ball handling responsibilities can't just be in Cade's hands. I think Cade being off the ball a little bit more, I think he becomes a better basketball player. I think he'll get a lot of easier shots. I think he'll get a lot of easier looks. I think he'll get a lot of easier layups, moving without the basketball, catch and shoot opportunities where he gonna be more efficient. I think his assists may drop a little bit, but I think that percentage and the rebounds gonna go up a lot too, because he won't be on top of the key going 1-on-5. So, in my opinion, I think they could do it, but I think kind of when you preordain somebody and give somebody the keys, you really can't take the keys from the guy like that. But my thing is, could they? My thing is, could they? Kind of convince him to play off the ball a little bit more. And I think his ability to shoot, his size, I think he can catch and shoot a lot better, slash, post up. I think he could be so much more efficient than what he is. I think his turnovers will go down. And then, with Ivy kind of running the point, or Sasser, if they trade Ivy, I think the life would be a lot easier. He already the best player or the leader on the team. He already the best player, the leader on the team. So when he called for the ball, it's gonna come. But I think so, in my opinion. I think so. I think that's the best thing for them right now, is to probably do a percentage of 50-30 between Ivy and Cade. 50% of the time the ball in Cade Cunningham's hands. 30% of the time it's in Ivy hand, and then obviously the other 20%, whoever else, if it's Sasser, Thompson, Harris, Beasley, Hardaway, whoever else is in there. So I think that's what it should be, in my humble opinion. So, but that's just my opinion on it, So, but yeah, that's all I pretty much got today, man. Just wanted to speak on JB's introductory press conference real quick. Hopefully I caught the video, the live a little bit more. Somebody done dropped their money, but they'll come back and get it. But I appreciate the love, support. Peace. Come on, man, you stopped. I didn't stop. Come on.